This rock looked completely worthless. Just
Colors.
gray,
You get this
crushed
dark color
stone,
here.
dusty, lifeless,
Small
ordinary.
samples from
The
what?
kind of material most people would step over without even noticing it. No shine, no color, no hint of value, just broken fragments of earth. But inside this exact material, there was real gold trapped deep within, not visible, not exposed, not obvious in any way. And what happens next is something most beginners never truly understand. Because once gold is locked inside crushed ore, you don't see it anymore. You don't recognize it. You can't just pick it out with your eyes. You have to extract it. And that process is far more violent, precise, and unforgiving than most people expect. Because nature doesn't give gold away easily. It hides it inside stones so tightly that even after breaking everything apart, the gold still refuses to reveal itself. At first glance, this looks like nothing important, just rubble, just industrial waste. But if you zoom in closer, this waste is actually the result of something far more powerful. Fast destruction, rock being crushed under pressure, dust exploding into the air, stone breaking into fragments with violent force, grinding mills rotating endlessly like machines that never sleep, water rushing through broken material like a controlled flood. And somewhere inside all of this chaos, gold still exists, but hidden, locked, trapped inside mineral structures that formed over thousands of years. This is not river gold anymore. This is not surface gold anymore. This is hard rock gold. And hard rock gold does not give itself up easily. But here's the strange part. Even after crushing the rock completely, the gold still does not appear. Not immediately, not clearly, not visually. It stays hidden inside the material until the very last stages of processing. And that creates a problem most people don't expect. Because breaking rock is only the beginning, not the solution. At first glance, crushed ore looks completely useless, just gray sand-like fragments. Fine dust mixed with rock pieces. No sparkle, no metallic shine, no obvious signs of value. But this material did not come from nothing. It came from gold-bearing formations, quartz veins cutting through ancient rock, sulfide-rich zones formed under pressure and heat, deep mineral systems created over geological time. And inside those structures, tiny amounts of gold became trapped, not in large chunks, but inside cracks,
Appears to be pretty
inside crystal
complex with
lattices,
high rate of
inside microscopic fractures in stone, which means one simple truth. You cannot extract it by looking. You can only extract it by processing. So the question becomes unavoidable. How do you extract something you cannot even see yet? Step 1. Crushing everything begins with force, raw mechanical pressure, heavy equipment breaking massive rocks into smaller fragments. Because gold cannot be accessed inside large stone bodies, it must first be exposed, cracked open, fragmented, destroyed at scale. Each impact creates new surfaces. Each fracture reveals hidden internal structures. But even at this stage, nothing is visible yet. No gold appears. No shine is revealed. Only broken rock. And that creates a dangerous illusion. Because beginners often think this step is enough. They assume crushing equals extraction. But that assumption is completely wrong. Crushing does not free gold. It only exposes the environment where gold is still trapped. And this is where most people fail immediately. They stop too early. They assume the job is done once the rock is broken. But in reality, this is still the beginning of a much deeper process. Because gold at this stage is still locked inside every fragment, invisible, undisturbed, waiting. Step 2. Grinding now. The process goes deeper, much deeper. Crushing transitions into grinding. The goal is no longer breaking rocks, but reducing everything into fine particles. Sand-like material, powdered ore, almost unrecognizable from its original form. Because gold is not always found in large visible pieces. Often, it exists as microscopic particles, embedded inside quartz grains, locked inside sulfide minerals, distributed so evenly that everything looks identical, gray, dusty, uniform, deceptively empty. But that emptiness is an illusion. Because now we are entering the stage where separation becomes possible, not because gold is visible, but because it is physically different. But even now, the gold still has not revealed itself. It is still inside the material, still trapped, still hidden within microscopic structures, waiting for the right method to pull it free. Step 3. Gravity concentration. Now comes the first real separation. Water enters the system, flowing through crushed material, carrying lighter particles away, and leaving heavier particles behind. Because gold is not just valuable, it is physically heavy, much heavier than surrounding minerals. So when movement begins, a natural sorting process starts. Light material rises and washes away. Heavy material sinks and collects, slowly forming a concentrate layer. Dark sands, dense mineral clusters, material that behaves differently under motion. But at first, nothing obvious stands out. It just looks like dirty water and sediment until patterns begin to form at the bottom. At first, it looks like nothing is happening, just swirling gray water, just movement without meaning. But underneath that surface, something is changing. Particles are beginning to separate, density is starting to take effect, and the system is quietly organizing itself. Step 4. Magnetic cleaning. Now another layer is removed. Magnetic minerals, iron-based fragments, magnetite and hematite particles mixed into the concentrate. These materials can trap or hide fine gold, so they must be carefully extracted. A magnet draws them away, slowly, methodically, and what remains is a cleaner, denser concentrate. But still, no obvious gold appears. Not yet, because what we are dealing with now is microscopic gold, too small to see directly, but still present, still real, still valuable. Now the material looks cleaner, more refined, more controlled, but also more mysterious, because the obvious signals are gone, and what remains is uncertainty. At this stage, patience becomes more important than speed, because rushing destroys separation layers and slows recovery. So everything must be done carefully, deliberately, almost silently. Step 5. Final panning. Now the final separation begins. Controlled water movement, small circular motion, careful tilting, slow extraction of lighter material, layer by layer. Because at this stage, everything depends on precision. Too fast, and gold escapes. Too slow, and the separation becomes unstable. So balance is critical, and gradually, the final layer begins to form. A thin line at the bottom, heavy minerals settling in place, waiting for confirmation. At first glance, it looks empty again. Just dark sand, just residue, almost disappointing, as if nothing survived the entire process. But crushed ore never reveals itself early. It hides until the very last fraction, until everything else is removed. Then something changes. A faint reflection, barely visible, almost mistaken for dust. But under the right angle of light, it becomes undeniable. A metallic flash, small, subtle, but real, gold, finally separated from waste material. Now everything intensifies, because where there is one signal, there are usually more. The process continues. The material is rechecked, reworked, rewashed, and slowly, more signals appear. Tiny flakes, microscopic reflections, small metallic points hidden in dark sediment, each one confirming the same truth. Gold was truly inside this rock, but then something unexpected appears. A particle that behaves differently. It does not move easily under water flow. It resists separation. It stays unusually stable. That behavior is not normal for light material, which suggests something important. A denser object is still hidden inside the concentrate. The particle looks like a normal rock fragment, blended into the dark material, almost invisible. But its weight tells a different story. It is too heavy, too stable, too resistant. This is not ordinary stone. Something metallic may be inside. Careful cleaning begins. Slow removal of surrounding sediment. And then it appears, a solid piece of gold-bearing material. Not dust, not fine flakes, but a visible concentrated fragment, dense, heavy, clearly separated from surrounding waste. A real recovered piece from crushed ore. And this is the key lesson. Crushed ore extraction is not about what you see, it is about what you release. Gold is rarely exposed directly. It is locked inside quartz systems, inside sulfide structures, inside rock formations built over geological time, and only mechanical breakdown combined with gravity separation can bring it back into visibility. Most beginners fail at this stage because they stop after crushing, they ignore fine particle recovery, they rush separation steps, they miss microscopic gold, they misinterpret empty material, and as a result, they throw away value without ever realizing it existed. But even now, the process is not fully complete because crushed ore rarely contains just one layer of gold. There are always deeper traces, hidden pockets, smaller particles still trapped in remaining material. So the final concentrate is checked again, carefully, slowly, and as expected, more tiny signals appear, each one reinforcing the same truth. Gold extraction is a layered process, and finally, the last visible fragment emerges. Stronger reflection, clearer shape, heavier presence, a final confirmed piece of gold recovered from crushed ore. Proof that the entire system worked, from rock to powder to separation to visible gold. This was never river gold. This was never surface discovery. This was gold locked inside solid rock for thousands of years, hidden by pressure, protected by geology, and only revealed through destruction and separation, crushing, grinding, concentration, precision recovery, each step necessary, each step unavoidable. But now a bigger question remains. If this small batch contained real gold, what about the untouched rock formation still underground? What about the veins still unbroken? What about the systems no one has processed yet? Because crushed ore is not the end of the story. It is only the beginning, and the real deposits are still waiting.